I ordered a mini skid steer from the manufacturer in China, and I'm having them ship it from China here to the United States. And it's one of the scariest financial decisions I've ever made in my life. So hopefully it really shows up and I receive it. I've been waiting for a couple months and it's supposed to be here soon. So this is my story of why and how I ordered my mini skid steer from China. Man, that's awesome. As many of you know, I have a Chinese mini excavator. I bought it from a dealership locally here in Oklahoma. And I paid a lot more than the average price from an auction. And I hear you can get them even cheaper from China. So I looked into another mini excavator, but I was like, man, I'd really like a mini skid steer. You know, the stand-on ones that you ride, they're not super expensive. You can get an American-made one or a Canadian-made one, and they're maybe, I don't know, $30,000, $50,000, and each attachment is 5, 10, 15 grand, depending on what they are. So I decided to order one from China. I actually searched and I searched and I searched, and I found the manufacturer. And the manufacturer I communicated directly with through Alibaba. And not only did he give me all the specs and all the normal stuff you'd get, but very detailed specs, a lot of information, but he also gave me video tours of his factory, of their whole process, and did a lot of things throughout the process to make me feel a lot more comfortable buying something from overseas. Because it's not like here in the US where if you have a problem, just get a lawyer, you know? Call a lawyer up, you know, get it handled and sue somebody, right? I mean, that's the American way these days. Crazy. It's not like you can do that there. So there's a lot of scams, a lot of people that aren't on the up and up. And I located what I believe to be the manufacturer of many of the machines out there. Some that you buy from dealers, some that you get from auction. But this company is the company that makes some of the greatest units out there. And so this is my story. Through the Facebook groups on the mini excavators and mini skid steers, a guy reached out to me when I was asking some questions in the group, and he sent me a private message and was telling me that he found through his sources the manufacturer of this specific unit that I was looking for, that another company was telling me they're the manufacturer. And I found another company sells the exact same machine and they say they're the manufacturer. So I followed the lead. I talked to the guy he told me to talk to, and this guy showed me a video tour of his whole factory. And he showed me where they make them. And he showed me that the signage in the background is really this place's facility. They're called Direct. It's actually called Shandong Direct Machinery Company. And they make this machine and a whole bunch of other ones. And they make some really quality products. I reached out to a few other owners. I found them online. I've actually, in one instance, I found a picture of one online for a guy in Texas. And in the picture, there was a picture of his truck and it had his company name and phone number on it. So I called and I talked to the owner. And he said that he bought that from China, from the same place I bought it from Direct. he uses on his landscaping crew, and they have a few of the machines. And they love them, and he's actually buying more because they work great. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to pull the trigger. I'm going to do this. So we go through this whole process of trying to decide which specific machine, all the options. There's so many options. So with my machine, this is the DRT 450. And this one is a 3-pump, 3-valve setup. It's got the motor up high above the track. So the tracks are kind of a triangle shape. And unlike my mini excavator, the electric motor or the hydraulic motor to drive the tracks is down low and can get hung up on stuff. This one's got auto level bucket, all kinds of stuff, but there's options for the engine. So you can get the Ratto engine, which is just a basic Chinese motor, and then you can get a Briggs & Stratton. It's the Vanguard Briggs & Stratton motor, and then the top of the line you can get a Honda, and the Honda 2-cylinder motor, and that's the one that I went with. He sent me pictures. He sent me videos of assembly. And let me share those with you here. So this, you can see where they're putting the machine together, and it's sitting here mostly assembled. Now, the reason I went with color green, because I thought it looked really cool and I thought it would make some good thumbnails, but I chose the color green. And here he is just walking around and showing all the different components of it and showing the build quality of the whole machine. So then as it goes, he's communicating with me, letting me know how it's coming along. And then finally it's done. And so he shows me a video of it being completed. And here's that video.
Hello, Ziggy. The loader has been finished. I will show you the operation.
So after that video, he's still making some of the attachments. So this company, this manufacturer, Duret, they also make attachments. So with my machine, I decided to get a whole bunch of attachments because I'm going to do YouTube content and I'm going to do some side jobs with it, and I can use it for a whole bunch of things. So it comes with a standard bucket. I got teeth on the bucket. I also added counterweights to the rear. So you can see here these little wings. These are the counterweights that make it less tippy when you're picking up a heavy load. So I got the bucket. I got a land leveler to help level out my gravel driveway and do some dirt and gravel leveling work. I got the trailer hitch attachment so I can shuffle my trailers around tight quarters in the woods. I decided to get an auger. I got an 8-inch bit for the auger because that'll be really handy because we have some projects coming up. I can use that. I decided to get a trencher. Why? Because, I don't know, it's cool. I can't find any videos on Chinese trencher reviews, so I'm going to make the reviews on that trencher once it comes in. The trencher is 36-inch depth, so that'll be awesome. Has a little auger beside it to move the dirt out of the way. I decided to get a stump grinder because a stump grinder would be awesome. Man, I could use that all over the place. My neighbors could use it. I could make a whole bunch of side money if it works, but I don't know. Will a Chinese stump grinder on a 3-pump gas motor machine work? I don't know. Is it worth anything? I don't know. So I'm going to review it along with you guys and make some videos on it. I also decided to get a brush cutter. Just look where I'm standing. I mean, look at the stuff I can do here. I can use that to cut trails through the woods. I have friends and neighbors with property. They could use that brush cutting service as well. I also got a grapple, not the one, the bucket grapple, the one that's open on both sides. So I could pick up big trees and all kinds of rocks and things. And I also got a 4-in-1 bucket. So most of these attachments you can buy for almost any machine. The American ones, Canadian ones, Chinese ones, whatever they happen to be, you can get all these attachments, but they're so expensive. These ones from China are a fraction of the cost of the other ones. But are they worth it? Do they work? I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. So once they finished all the attachments, then they started to crate up my equipment. And he videoed it. Like, check this out. Here's some pictures and some video of them crating up the equipment and the machines. And here's a tour of everything they put in the first crate. And then I'll go to the second crate.
degree. This is the auger. And this attachment. And the chassis. Stem the grader. And the 4-in-1 bucket. This is the grabber. This is the lever. And this is the auger bill. And this is the loader. A standard bucket and a set of teeth. And the brush cutter. Yes. And I will give the extra the spare parts for you, and I will take the picture for you.
So once they're all stacked on the crate, then they start building the walls and they put the top on. And he sent me these videos. Check this out.
Yes. Look at this thickness.
So after that, he loads it onto a truck, sends me this picture. Here it is on the truck, coming to my zip code in Norman, Oklahoma. And then it's going to port to be shipped out. So he sends me a tracking number, tells me what ship it's on. So did you know that you can track the ships online? I didn't know that. The ships have GPS trackers, and you can get on all these different websites and track all these cargo container ships. So you can see where it's coming. So mine is supposed to come to port in Los Angeles, California on the 20th of June. And sure enough, it arrived. And then I checked the GPS and it showed it here, parked on the side of whatever body of water. And then there's a road by it. I'm like, oh, I wonder what that looks like on Google Maps. Sure enough, look at that big container unloading place for big cargo ships. That's so cool. Oh, I wonder about Street View. Let's take a look. Man, that's awesome. So anyway, so it arrived, and then I'm waiting. After a couple weeks, I sent him a message. I'm like, hey, what's going on? Did I get stuck in customs? Everything going well? And he says, it's just leaving now in a truck. Here's your tracking information. And so now, here I am tracking it, and this is where I'm at. It was in California, and now Arizona, and it should be to me on Tuesday. So hopefully it's what I think it is. And once it arrives, we're gonna do an unboxing video. I have to put each crate on a separate truck. So I have two trailers. I have one of my buddies is gonna take one trailer and load one machine on that, or one crate on that, and the other one go on my other trailer on my truck. I'm gonna bring them home and I'm gonna uncrate them, and we're gonna take a look at them together. And hopefully it's all like they said and everything's good. We will see. So on Alibaba, if you buy from a verified seller, there's trade assurance. And what that means is that if you don't get it, you should be able to get your money back through Alibaba. And all the sellers on there that are verified, they're part of this agreement, and if I don't get it, I just need to submit it to Alibaba, and I have so many days to do so. So as of right now, I have 16 days left, and I can extend it another 15, and that's it. I have 31 days remaining today, and I ordered it shipped out on May 11th, and today is July the 6th. So it's been almost 2 months. So basically, you have 3 months for the trade assurance window. And then, it's hard to finance something coming from China. Hey, bank. Yeah, this is Greg again. I want to finance a piece of Chinese equipment being shipped from China. Hello? So maybe not the greatest financial decision, but I'm like, you know what? I've got a bunch of credit cards sitting there and I could do 0%. So it costs a little extra, but whatever. So I purchased the machine and all the attachments, and I put on 0% credit cards. So I'm going to pay those out on the 0%, and they'll be paid off before the 18 months of 0% are over. And so is that the smartest way to do it? Probably not, but that's what I did. So I used a card that I get 1% back, but it cost me 3% to do the 0%. So really it cost me 2%. Not great, but it's better than not getting the machine and being able to review all these products and see if it's really worth anything. So that's the route I went. It's not necessarily the best route for everybody. Maybe you got the cash. Maybe it's not a big deal. Maybe you've got enough cash you can buy your own manufacturing facility and build it. But I don't. So I put it on a credit. Dave Ramsey would be sad. So that's my story on this leg of my journey with these Chinese pieces of equipment. And hopefully everything works out for me. Hopefully I actually get the products and they're good. Hopefully I can review them and they're good reviews. But we'll see. So far, Duret has been awesome. And I don't really have any complaints about them. Honestly, as many sellers I've dealt with throughout the last few decades from all the different selling platforms, this guy, Dean, from Duret, is the most responsive I've ever seen. I can't believe this guy responds to messages in the middle of the night for them. Now, for China, they're 13 hours behind us. I'm in Central Time Zone in Oklahoma in the U.S. He's 13 hours behind me. So like at 10 at night, for me, he's just waking up. But I can send that guy messages, and if it's during his business hours, he replies within seconds. It's crazy. If it's in the middle of the night, he'll reply still within like an hour or two. I don't understand. Does the guy ever sleep? I think he just works all the time. He replies on weekends, evenings, I mean everything. It's crazy. So if this machine is anything like the customer service I've received thus far, man, this thing will be amazing. So far, if everything is the way I think it will be and what he says it will be, this is the route to go if you want to buy one. If you can wait 3 months and you can pay for it through Alibaba online and you can stomach that, this is the way to go. But let's see. Tuesday, the crates come. I'll give you an update then. Crossing my fingers. Anyway, thanks for listening and enjoy your time in the trees. I decided to order a piece of equipment directly from China, and it's one of the scariest financial decisions I've ever made in my life. I ordered a Chinese mini skid steer directly from the manufacturer in China and having them ship it here to the United States. And it's one of the scariest financial decisions I've ever done. I ordered a mini skid steer from the manufacturer in China, and I'm having it shipped here to the United States. And it is one of the scariest financial decisions I've ever made in my life. I ordered a mini skid steer directly from China, and I'm having it shipped from China to the United States. And it's one of the scariest financial decisions I've ever made in my life. I ordered a mini skid steer, and I did something that's really scary. I ordered it directly from the manufacturer in China. I ordered a mini skid steer, and I ordered it directly from the manufacturer in China, and I'm having them ship it to me here in the United States. And it's one of the scariest financial decisions I've ever made in my whole life. And hopefully it arrives and actually really shows up. I decided to order a mini skid steer from the manufacturer in China. And I decided to order a Chinese mini skid steer. And it's one of the scariest decisions I've made financially in my entire life, because I ordered it directly from the manufacturer in China, and I'm having it shipped here to the United States. And hopefully I receive it.